Hello everyone, welcome your faces back to another episode of the Fuel for Thought podcast, where this week we're heading to Las Vegas. Well, we're not, but F1 is.
If only.
Yeah, if only. For probably the most, I don't know, the biggest level of fanfare around an F1 race. Extravagant
Grand Prix.
Formula One race of the season where the focus isn't necessarily on the racing for the most part, but for the, I guess,
Fanfare
and
entertainment, Vegas.
It's the fact that it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Exciting. On the racing on the Strip. Love it. Second race in Vegas. I remember last year, there was speculation about how good the race would be because obviously it's so late in Vegas. It's cold. The track. Everyone was worried the track would be too cold for them to race on and for it to be safe.
Yeah.
But it actually ended up being a very, very good race.
Yeah, everyone thought it was going to be a gimmick.
Yeah.
Because it was set up to be, everything pointed towards it's in Vegas. Look at all these things. Look, it's the Sphere. Looking at all the cars.
Yeah.
It's actually, it produced some good racing. And for a season where Max Verstappen won 17 races, something like that.
I think more than that. I think this was his 18th win.
It was a ridiculous amount of races.
Or it might have been 18. I don't remember, but yeah.
It was actually really close.
It was, yeah.
It was within 3 to 5 seconds.
I think it was less. I think it was 2.5 or something along those lines.
So actually, and he didn't lead the whole way.
No.
Charles Leclerc left. Perez led. Perez led for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Perez didn't qualify well again either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he did anyway.
No, he qualified P11.
Yeah.
So he made his way through the
classic
pack.
Perez qualifying there.
Yeah. But there was a good move from Charles at the end. Obviously, Perez was in P2 and Charles
had made a mistake earlier on.
Yeah. He took him on the last lap on one of the final corners.
Yeah,
Very
that was exciting.
Spectacular.
To not have a Red Bull 1-2.
Yeah.
Caught Perez sleeping there.
He did. I think this track, I read it was about 78% full throttle around this track. It's kind of similar to Baku in that way. Where there's a lot of full throttle moments. So
yeah, tell you what, I was in an Uber down the Las Vegas Strip.
Yep.
About a month ago, and it definitely wasn't full throttle.
Did you close your eyes and imagine you were in an F1 car?
I didn't want to close my eyes going down the strip. Come on.
Yeah, I guess
it's
the most spectacular street.
But yeah, I remember the start of the race last year. There was a very questionable move from Max Verstappen where he took both him and Leclerc off the track.
Yeah.
The classic dive bomb when none of them stay on the track to take the lead, and it wasn't penalised. But the rules this year, he would get penalised, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful if he qualifies into the front this year.
Yeah, I think so. Because obviously he qualified in P2, didn't he? And Charles was on pole, right?
Yes. And Russell was in P3, I think.
Yeah. So it was a similar situation to the Lando Max thing this year. Well, obviously Max got a penalty.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But there will be penalties.
First lap, they kind of are a bit more lenient, aren't they?
They are, but I think if it ends up like that again this year, they'll probably penalise it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Norris, he DNF'd last year.
He did.
Crashed into the wall.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to his car. It could have been cold brakes. I don't know. I can't remember. But I think maybe he bottomed on the track.
And Piastri
not good.
Clashed with Hamilton. Mm-hmm. I mean, they both got punctures, I think. Mm-hmm. But they both had good races there.
Alpine did well last year.
Yeah.
I think Lance Stroll came in P6.
Oh.
Yeah. Got some good results last year.
Yeah, so
Grand Prix.
For the season it was last year, it was an entertaining race.
Yeah.
And it's going to be difficult to top Brazil.
Yeah.
Which was the last race we just had. Mm-hmm. Because that was was that 3 hours in the end?
Yeah, it was a long weekend.
It was a long old race, but
it was.
God, it was entertaining. And
yeah. And it kind of led to the possibility of the championship wide opening.
Instead, it just slammed the door shut.
Yeah, basically.
Max Verstappen just became a god that weekend.
Yeah. So actually, let me read what Max has to do this weekend to win the championship. So because of Max's dominance.
Well, what Norris has to. Well, yeah.
No, what Max has to do.
Yeah, but if Max wins,
both of them.
Yeah,
so obviously because of Max's dominant last time in Brazil, he can obviously win the title in Vegas.
He can.
So if he finishes ahead of Norris and both drivers score points, he's the champion.
Wait, what? Really?
Even if, yeah.
Are you sure?
This is what it says.
If Norris finishes P2, surely there's still... Well, like, I don't know.
I don't know. This is a very reliable source. It's Yahoo Sports.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Should be reliable.
Yeah, it should be. If neither driver scores points, Verstappen is the champion.
Right. So how many points does Norris need to get ahead of?
I think Max is 62 points ahead of Lando.
And there's 3 races left.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and the final one is if Norris finishes as high as 4th without scoring the fastest lap of the race, Verstappen is still the champion if he finishes 1 spot behind him.
yeah. Well,
So I feel like Brazil's kind of made it easy for Max to win this time around.
say 62 points, and it's 25 for a win. Mm-hmm. Well, then he basically needs to win or come second every race. Well, Max... Well, no, yeah, win every race while Max DNFs, right?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Norris to win now.
Surely.
Yeah, it has pretty much slammed the door shut on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs like 2 wins and a 4th, basically.
I mean, stranger things have happened, I guess, but I just don't see it, unfortunately. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's done. It's
Yeah,
done.
I think it'll be a great place for Max to win the championship anyway.
Yeah. And you know what? I kept saying that, it'd be a shame if Max won, after all this had happened and he just won again. But I think we just got to, appreciate the good season we've had.
Yeah,
even if the
definitely.
outcome is Max winning.
Yeah, but also last weekend, he showed the kind of driver he is. Obviously, we said that wet races kind of is the equalizer.
Yeah, well, he needs... Yeah.
And the amount he won by was just incredible, and where he won from. So, yeah, I think obviously this year, well...
Yeah. So it'd be hard to complain that he's not deserving this year of it.
Definitely.
But, yeah, it's just a shame that others couldn't be more competitive with the cars they had.
That's not Max's problem, that's their problem,
It
isn't it?
certainly is, yeah. Put in the work early on to get the lead he had.
Exactly.
And, Anyway, this year, has anything changed from last year? Apart from the fact that Max Verstappen and Red Bull aren't the quickest car.
Has anything changed? Obviously.
I think the tracks, it should be we should expect a similar sort of race, right?
Yeah. I can't actually remember when it was last year, whether it was at the end of November or whether it was a bit earlier.
I think it was a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
because
because I think it probably, well, if it's a week, then probably won't be a bit colder, but it will be quite cold, I think.
So yeah, it's a cold race. I saw online that Mercedes might be more competitive here because it's colder.
Yeah, because they did well in Silverstone and Canada and Spa, which was a cold race. Well, actually, the race wasn't cold. It was warm. I was sat there and it was warm.
But
wasn't
when
warm,
there's someone in, was it hoodie weather, chilly, a little bit chilly?
No, I was in a t-shirt.
Fair.
For the actual race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, McLaren did well in Silverstone and Canada as well.
Yeah, but McLaren were quick.
Yeah, I mean, McLaren have been quick all year, but it proves that they can still race competitively on a cold track.
You know who else was good in Silverstone?
Lewis Hamilton.
Well, yeah, but we said that. Max Verstappen.
Okay.
he almost beat Lewis Hamilton, didn't he?
Yeah, true. And he won in Canada.
And not necessarily being... Yeah, but he was quickest there. Well, no, Norris was arguably quicker in Canada, actually. But that's kind of when the car was still, arguably quickest. You know? Both arguably quickest. Anyway.
Yeah. Will Max Verstappen win the World Drivers' Championship in Vegas? Yes or no?
In Vegas. I want to say no, but I'm going to say yeah.
I'm going to say yeah as well. I think he's, yeah. Obviously reading out how he has to do it.
Yeah.
It's just
62 points in 3 races. That is almost and it would have to be big coincidence, like suspiciously big coincidences, for it to not happen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like what? He'd have to DNF basically
he basically just not have to race.
Yeah. Yeah. Be shocking. I think he's going to win in Vegas as well.
Yeah. Should we get into some predictions?
Yeah. Go on then.
Let's do it.
Right. So, for qualifying, I have put George Russell in P3.
Okay.
And then I've put Charles Leclerc in P2. And then...
Ferrari be quick then.
Yeah, so they did well last year.
They did.
And I think in qualifying they'll do well. Although we'll get onto the race in a bit. I don't know if they'll necessarily have the race pace that other drivers will have, because I don't think the car will be able to warm their tyres up to keep that.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And then I've put on pole Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz.
Yeah. As I said, I think Ferrari will be quick in qualifying. I think they'll be able to kind of heat their tyres up well enough to get the fastest laps and qualify in P1 and P2. But I don't necessarily think that they'll be able to keep that up in the race, because I don't think they'll keep their tyres warm enough or be able to generate the heat quick enough.
Do you remember Carlos Sainz's bad luck last year?
What, in Vegas? The drain cover.
He had a drain cover in practice.
Yeah.
And had a 10-place grid penalty for it, because they had to replace parts outside of allocation,
Oh
even
my
though
God,
the
I
track
remember
caused the
now.
damage.
Yeah. I remember being absolutely livid at that.
10 places.
And the video as well of it is crazy, because there was loads of sparks, wasn't there? Yeah, hopefully they nail those drain covers down this time.
Yeah, right. Anywho, what have I put? I've put P3, Lewis Hamilton.
All right.
He's got to get back to form.
You've gone for the other Mercedes driver, have you?
Yeah, he has such a bad car last time. Like, surely they sorted him out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Lewis. He's due something good. Like, he's too good not to. Anyway, P2, Oscar Piastri.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. P1, Max Verstappen.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, I know this track's not necessarily that technical because it's a lot of high speeds. So maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's just like, it will just be McLaren P1 or a Ferrari. Whoever's got a good high-speed package. But I just think, he'll be hungry for it, hungry to wrap it up off the back of a good race in Brazil. And Lando Norris will have lost a lot of confidence, or like just maybe he'll have the attitude of like, oh, don't even care, I can't do it anymore. I
don't know, or it'll be the opposite, where he's like, right, I've got to win the last 3 races.
Yeah,
I've got to do what I can to win.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But just like his attitude after the race in Brazil was very negative, and like,
what where he was saying it was luck.
Yeah, and it wasn't the right. It wasn't like a champion's attitude, you know what I mean? Like, so, and it's hard to think that he can turn that mindset around within a few weeks.
You never know.
But yeah, he's gonna, I think McLaren will have, a good sports psychologist to like help him put himself in the right headspace over the summer, and he'll come back next year quicker.
Over the summer?
Yeah.
Over the winter?
Sorry, over the winter.
Unless you're in Australia.
Thinking about like
could be over the summer.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the winter break.
So Max will take pole.
Max will be pole.
And where will Lando be? Do you think he'll mess it up because of that mindset?
Yeah, just won't. Well, we'll come to my world predictions.
Oh, okay. All right. Race.
The race.
Okay. So I have put in P3 Carlos Sainz. Obviously, I said about Ferrari earlier, but I do think obviously they're going to be the top 3 quickest car. So, well, actually, maybe top 4 between obviously.
So Carlos Sainz won't stay in pole.
No. No, not in the Ferrari. No. Don't be silly. Well, I'd love him to prove me wrong. He'd feel free. P2, I've put Lando Norris. Obviously, haven't put him in my top 3 qualifying.
Okay.
But I think he will be hungry for it, and he'll be fighting for the championship till the very end. And yeah, he'll work his way up to P2.
They take some risks then.
Yeah. What's he got to lose? Literally nothing. He's not going to get the championship otherwise.
Well, he's got to lose P2 in the championship from Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, true. That would be a story, wouldn't it? And then P1, after saying that, I've put Max Verstappen. I think...
But he wasn't in your top 3, was he?
He wasn't, no. Obviously, him and Lando are fighting for a championship. Like, none of them were in my top 3 qualifying. But I just think they're just going to fight for it. And yeah, as I said, I don't think the Ferrari will stay 1 and 2 because of the tyre temperatures. And then George Russell, I think it will be similar for Mercedes maybe. I think they'll drop down as well because I think if anything they're probably the 4th fastest car at the moment.
Yeah, that would definitely.
So I think they'll drop down. And also I think it helps Max because he doesn't really get caught up in like the fanfare of it. Like he doesn't care for the...
He doesn't like the gimmicks.
Yeah, the bells and whistles. Yeah, he doesn't care for the bells and whistles of Vegas. He just he'll be more in like the mindset of
Formula
racing.
1 in general.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just think that will kind of work in his favor. I just think Max will just be like, yeah, as you said, want to tie it up in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's it. Championship won. And especially if Lando's behind him, there's no way he's letting him past.
So I've gone a different way. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've gone P3. Lando Norris.
Oh, well, you never know. Happened in Brazil? No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, he came P3 in Brazil. No, Lando Norris. Mm-hmm. Yep. He doesn't qualify in the top 3, but he's got to take some risks, got to be hungry, got to put it up there. And McLaren will be quick.
Yep.
They will be quick.
Agreed.
I think they'll be the quickest car in Vegas. Mm-hmm.
I think they're quite good at the quickness of warming up their tyres, the quickness.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
P2, Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
Say Mercedes, they got to have, like, you know, if they're earmarked to be good here, then they better be good.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's boring just to put, like, same every time. Mm-hmm. So come on, Mercedes. Like, they've come out of nowhere a couple of times this season. More than, 3? Well, say 3 times. One was lucky. Austria was lucky.
It's never luck.
Well, it was mostly
I guess
luck,
it was, but
at the time you make your own luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still lucky. But yeah, they're going to come out of nowhere and actually be quick.
So even though McLaren are going to be the faster car, you think that Lewis is going to stay ahead of Lando?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And P1, Oscar Piastri.
Oh.
So Verstappen, who qualifies in pole, nowhere to be seen.
Wow.
Just because I think...
What's happened to him? You're living in the... Well, you said that Max is going to win the championship. You're living in a scenario where he doesn't even get in the top 3 at Vegas.
Yeah, but he could be a 4th.
Yeah.
Well, Lando's 3rd.
I think that still makes him champion. Yeah, that still makes him champion. I think... Obviously, Red Bull have brought an upgrade a few races ago, and I think that's really improved their performance.
Didn't they bring an upgrade and go back to like a really earlier spec and it made them quicker?
Yeah, I think they did, actually.
Really early. That's really good English, that.
Yeah, great English today from us. Yeah, I just don't see... Yeah. Because it wouldn't have surprised me a few races ago, like 5 races ago, if Max wasn't in the top 3. But now, because the Red Bull has kind of proven... Well, Max and the Red Bull has kind of proven to be quicker than it was. I just can't really see him not finishing in the top 3.
But, you know, it could be a bad pit stop, could be a bad strategy, could be a bad call, could be Max getting really annoyed with his engineer over the radio and like just not having enough day.
Yeah.
Which doesn't often have, but I'm throwing it out there, trying to be a bit more adventurous while still just predicting McLaren and Mercedes in the top 3.
Yeah. Well, it'd be a 3rd win for Oscar Piastri if that happens, so I wouldn't be complaining.
What a place to do it.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Right, we've got some bold predictions, haven't we?
All right. What's mine then?
Bold predictions.
Right, my first bold prediction is there will be 5 different race leaders throughout the Grand Prix. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's that going to be?
Carlos. Also, I'm naming them, but if it's not necessarily these people, we're not counting that, all right? Carlos. Charles. Max.
Lando.
I don't know. George.
Oscar.
All of the above. It could be anyone. But I think there will be 5. There was 3 last year, and I am hoping for it to be even more exciting. And also last year, the championship, like that Red Bull was a rocket ship. I know some cars started to catch up with them at the end, but still, it was a rocket ship. Whereas this year, there is more competition. There's been more competition throughout every single race, pretty much. So I think that will...
It was a rocket ship, and yet you still had Max racing the likes of George Russell and George crashing into him and getting a penalty. But still.
And Charles Leclerc. So I think if Vegas is kind of a similar vibe this year, maybe there will be more drivers competing for the win.
Yes. Okay, my first one. Lando Norris will have a bad qualifying. As said, pressure on him. Is he going to crack?
What do you mean by bad? Out in Q1? Out in Q2?
I don't know. No. Maybe, but I want to say like he'll, top like Q1 and Q2. All signs pointing towards pole, and then just like bottle it and get P6 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I mean by bad.
It's just funny that's a bad qualifying.
Yeah, but everything's relative.
Yeah,
especially like when you're fighting for the championship and you need to have a good qualifying.
Yeah.
It's like anything better than perfect or anything less than perfect is not good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. My second bold prediction is a Williams driver will finish in the top 6. Williams did well last year here. And
yes.
Yeah, I think one of them will finish in the top 6.
Did you not see the news?
Oh, no, what?
There was speculation whether they'd even be able to bring 2 cars to Vegas.
Because of the thing? Oh, my God.
Because they had 5 crashes.
Let me change my prediction.
2 weeks. No.
Okay, the Williams car that they're going to bring will finish in the top 6.
They are expecting to bring both. But, they ran out of parts, basically.
Oh, no.
So, they're scrambling for parts. Is, what is being reported.
Oh, wow.
So,
I have not seen that.
Initially, it was, Williams won't race in Vegas, but, they're contractually obliged to bring at least 1 car, I think. And then James Vowles is like, look, we've had a tough couple of weeks. We've had loads of crashes and parts aren't cheap and we know they're struggling with parts anyway. So they're gonna piece together some cars with some inefficient, unoptimized parts. Yeah, basically.
Does that mean they'll have no? Because I don't know. Okay, interesting. Well, that makes it an extremely bold prediction.
It does.
Because if they can only enter 1 car in the race, then that's all on that person. But also, they cannot crash out in P1, P2, P3 or qualifying.
Yeah, they've got to be careful.
Or the race. Well, the race, I guess, that's...
Well, yeah, but they've got triple header.
Yeah.
So...
Well, they just can't crash out until the end of the season.
Let me switch mine around because I'll say my third one now.
Okay.
Because my third one, and this is from prior knowledge of that, I was like, because of that, this is bold. Mm-hmm. Both Williams will make it to Q3, in spite of the fact that they're not bringing their best cars.
Gosh, I wish
I was gonna say Williams will finish in the top 10, but I just can't see that happening if they're botching together a car.
Okay, I'm gonna change my prediction to Williams or.
Nah, just stick with it.
I'm going to stick with it. All right, I'll own it.
Gotta own it.
I wish I knew that information before making my predictions, but never mind.
Okay.
Colin Pinto is going to finish P6.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so my third prediction is there will be 5 DNFs.
For God's sake. Okay, 5 DNFs.
I don't know why I've said 5 race leaders and 5 DNFs. I just think the cold temperatures will cause some problems for...
Maybe.
I think there'll be
there wasn't 5 last year. There was 1.
Lando
Norris.
Yeah.
I think 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think the cold temperatures will just cause a few lockups and then people just...
Well, we thought that last year. There was... fear-mongering about Vegas at midnight and it's a new track and it's gonna be so slippery and
I remember actually
and...
yeah, because there was a meme that it was just gonna be a pile up at turn 1,
but it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
So maybe not really much to say about that one.
No.
To be honest. My third one is Mercedes will get lucky. So I've got Hamilton finishing P2. I think there might be a bit of luck involved.
All right.
And it's bold because it's unlikely.
It is unlikely, but
That's why it's luck.
yeah. What? So you put Max Lewis? No, you didn't. You put Oscar Lewis Lando.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be interesting as well in terms of McLaren's strategy. If Piastri's leading and Lando's in third, like there'll be some panic, I reckon, on the pit wall of like, what are we gonna do? Because Hamilton's in our way.
What could they do?
Exactly.
You can't do anything if you've got.
It'll put some unwanted pressure on them.
Yeah, I mean, potentially they could say to Oscar to
hold Lewis up.
Make sure Lewis
they could do that. Could make it interesting.
Yeah,
but it depends where Max is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could make it out. That's actually very exciting.
Yeah, interesting.
Right. I like your scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've just got one more thing to do.
Driver of the day.
Yes. Which day? Today.
Who's your driver of today?
Me.
Me, because I drove through the snow this morning.
Yeah, I haven't driven today.
There we go. I'm the driver of the day today.
We digress.
But
you
the driver
drove through 0.01 millimeters of snow.
Yeah. That's more snow than you've driven through today, so I think I take it.
All right, driver of the day at the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
I am going to go for Maximus Verstappen.
Maximus Verstappenus.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Where have you got him finishing again?
P1.
We got him winning it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't got him qualifying in the top 3. And if he wins the World Drivers' Championship in Vegas, he's got the driver of the day for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I have put, and I usually put the winner because it's like, I find it hard not to. Mm-hmm. Especially if like they've come from slightly further back to then go on and win it without obviously qualifying bad every single time, like some people. Mm-hmm. But I suppose if you qualify bad and still win it, you're still driver of the day. Anyway.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
I knew you were going to pick Lewis Hamilton.
Even if he finishes P2, I think it will be a great showing from him in a car that hasn't been good this season.
It's kind of, although he's won 2 races, it's kind of less predictable for him to finish in the top 3 than the McLaren drivers.
And then last year as well, even though he didn't win a race last year.
Yeah.
But he was still getting podiums almost every time.
All right, I'll give you that. Well, I guess we'll see who's right.
We will see. We will see. Although, if Piastri comes from, where did I say, P3 to win it? No, P2 to win it. He might be driver of the day. Who knows? But we'll stay with Lewis Hamilton.
All right.
He might, as I say, Mercedes will get lucky. He might turn the situation into his favour to get into P2.
This is where we're wrong with all our predictions. And Valtteri Bottas comes and wins it.
What? The team with 0 points this season?
Yeah. Do you know he's going to turn that 0 into a 25? 26 actually. Yeah. Fastest lap.
You see Joe Guanyu might be Ferrari's reserve driver next season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know he put out a statement saying obviously he's leaving. Well, he's not renewing with Sauber, and he was looking at staying in the paddock next season, but I didn't see that. Yeah,
the narrative is that it's to basically get that Chinese sponsor money.
Okay.
A lot of money comes out of China. Mm-hmm. A lot of money in Chinese sponsors, so it makes sense for the Ferrari.
Yeah. Also, I think it's quite nice to have like drivers of different nationalities representing their countries. Yeah. So, yeah.
But he won't be able to drive in FP1 in China, though, because it's a sprint race next season.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. But
I'm glad he got to race there this season. This season.
Yeah.
Because obviously we didn't race there last year. Yeah. So it was nice to see he actually got a home race.
Yeah, and it makes sense why they're not continuing with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway.
Valtteri Bottas, though. Where's he going?
Yeah, that's true. He's just going to run triathlons in his house for fun.
Well, he's got a reindeer, hasn't he? He can look after his reindeer, run triathlons in his house. I think he'll be fine, actually.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll probably go to NASCAR.
He's probably looking at retiring and doing triathlons.
Start a NASCAR team with Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, aw.
That'd be hilarious. I'll start watching NASCAR for that.
Yeah, new podcast coming.
I was going to do an American accent, but I won't offend anyone.
No.
Anyway, let's wrap it up there.
Okay.
Looking forward to this last Vegas Grand Prix on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Who knows what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be an exciting race. Like I always say, I hope it's going to be an exciting race. I'm apprehensive, but this season's given us enough.
Yeah.
Last year was good.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do it. Getting up at 6 a.m. here in the UK. Well,
Yeah.
that's when it starts.
Normally, when I get up at 6 a.m., there's some kind of red flag, and
I know.
I'm like, God, I should have just stayed in bed for an extra hour, but never mind.
But yeah, let us know what you think. Get involved. Is your favourite driver going to win? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. But until then, we'll catch you after Las Vegas to see if Max Verstappen is champion or not. Who knows?
Champion of the world.
But yeah, see you then.
Bye.